again. Okay. Maybe your husband is missing?
My husband? No, he's not.
So where could he be?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
So I'm hearing is you don't really know where your husband is.
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to?
No.
She looks you straight into the eye. Her right foot is tapping nervously. I can totally help you find your missing husband. Suit yourself then. I don't really care if your husband is missing. Maybe you're right. Maybe he isn't missing indeed.
Of course he's not. It's not like he's a pocket watch. I wouldn't just lose him.
It's got to be something else then. Why else would you be asking her if it wasn't?
Because you're weird? That's why? Maybe your children are missing?
No, absolutely not.
Does she have children? Okay, so where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
Nanny, where are they?
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
Okay, great. Just making sure.
I see. Thanks.
Maybe your cockatoo is missing.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
Yep.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
Ma'am, I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing?
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what?
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
Alright, cockatoo not missing. I just wanted to make sure.
Great.
Great, got it.
Wonderful.
The woman before.
Okay. I'm not really sure what all that was about, but I guess it was my fault, so... I'm gonna go back here.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in...
We'll open the
Just
curtains.
as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
This is about the curse? That's why you're afraid?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
She's almost begging you. If I sense this place is calling for me, I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My
Yes.
God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
Alright, I'll think about it for a while.
Thank you. Let's just talk.
Talking is always good. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in...
So, first we need to talk. I still want to just manage to go back and talk to the Wild Pines people, but I'm not really sure how to do that without becoming racist. I'd rather not.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
She recites it like it's a poem. Or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of.
Why are you still talking about books? Are you trying to put a spell on me? If it's just a storage room, then why does it have a Simonese word protecting it? If it's just a storage room, then it wouldn't hurt if I just peeked inside. It's not like it's cursed, right? Why are you still talking about books?
A spell? As if. This place doesn't need any spells or hoodoo mumbo-jumbo. This place has wonderful energy.
She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile, then something breaks.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant.
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
She peers at the curtains again. Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Have you sought help from anyone?
Yes. I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
Nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains.
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough.
Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
She shivers.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
New words. Is your pendant part of the words as well? Point at her necklace.
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Yeah. Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Convince her to let you investigate the doomed commercial area.
Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Wait, what if I don't want to lie?
You're not lying. You're giving her peace of mind. The means are thus justified.
Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled supernatural situations before.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
She looks skeptical. I've returned from the void, a paradetective from a long line of paradetectives.
You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
You look like one.
Yeah.
The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
I admit, I've had my share of drinks, but only because of the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing. See, it's necessary to drink to the spirits in order to contact the void. I admit.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
Wards brought me here in the first place. The Simonese blood also runs through me. I'm the Void Reverend. I have the powers to debad all the bad energies.
I should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
Hand on your heart, on my honor.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity. Close your eyes. I've sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Chimney, the passage between heavens and hell, of course.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
I had a few more questions about the curse.
Okay, but please, only...
The woman
Okay.
looks aloof.
I have the key. I have the quest. I don't have anything in my glasses space. Maybe I should go back and buy one of the sunglasses. Just so I have something in that spot.
There. Working class drunk. You know what this means, right?
Case solved?
Cracked it. All in a good day's work.
Wait, what did I crack exactly?
What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is.
It's her husband, the missing husband. It's the future leader of a proletarian uprising. It's, some third option?
No. Stop goofing around, recruit.
It's the future leader of a proletarian uprising.
No, it's not.
It's her husband, the missing husband.
Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Protect and serve, recruit.
What?
Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing though?
This doesn't add up. I'm only making a fool of myself.
Do marriages make any sense? Does honor? You're not a filthy philosopher. You're an officer of law. It's time to ace this case and not brood over your reputation. We can deal with the perception management later.
Give me champagne. I'm going in.
There's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit. Go and tell the working class woman what you found right now.
Okay, this makes no sense, but okay. Protect and serve them. I found your husband.
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing.
Well, I found him nevertheless. I'm that good.
Very well then. Where is he?
There, point to the working class drunk down near the sea.
Excuse me? I don't follow.
I found a working class drunk and I thought he might be yours.
Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what?
She glances over her shoulder towards the drunk.
Remember, about that what, never ever say what.
Something bad, I guess. I'm sorry. I say stupid things sometimes. I didn't mean to annoy.
You were right. I do have an alcoholic husband. Although not that one.
Ha, blam, knew it.
But you told me your husband's alright?
I did, and he is. He's also an alcoholic.
So is he missing as well?
No, he's not. Or maybe he is, I don't know. He's probably in the park or in Shamrock somewhere, drinking with his friends.
He looks away.
I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
She's completely forgotten about her book, staring blank into the distance instead. Is it just me, or do we have a missing persons case here? Don't worry, I'm going to find him and bring him back home, promise. Well, if he's with his friends, then he's not really missing. No need for the police to be involved. Don't worry, I'm going to find him and bring him back home, promise.
She sighs, but you can detect a slight hint of gratitude and relief from her face.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions?
Okay, but he's not missing? What does your husband look like?
Honestly, not that different from you.
She eyes you from head to toe. Like a late-stage alcoholic, then.
That's one way to put it, yes. No offense. I'd also add he's a little bit chubby.
I see. What else?
What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner lining. The lining is hand-sewn. I made it myself.
She sighs, her voice slightly quivering when she asks.
It's his cool jacket. God knows it's too cold to run around in this, but he refuses to change. I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Can you believe it?
She looks back at you, shaking her head. Well, if the jacket's really that cool, then I can totally understand.
Well, what can you do? I hope that at least that extra lining helps him keep warm at night. I wouldn't like him to catch cold.
When did you last see him?
Yesterday morning. He went to the library. He went to retrieve my book, and he promised he'd walk straight back home. Because we talked about this. We talked about not wandering off again. I don't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do with his addiction. Just makes me feel weak.
Gone for around 36 hours then. Damn, this is a missing persons case.
Harry just sensed it.
She turns away from you in an attempt to recover.
I think I got it, thanks.
So you are going to look for him?
Yes, I will bring him back home to you. Take the case.
Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure he will return home by himself. I'm still sure of that.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 57, Kim Kitsuragi, know?
He gives her a slip of paper.
I will. Of course, officer. As I said, it's probably nothing.
The woman takes the slip of paper. It's a phone number. He somehow stumbled onto being right, I guess? Let's go yell at Tuhono.
Necromancer pig. That shit was dark. Going in there like that. Oh, brutal shit. Tell me, Kuno dies. You're gonna pick one out of his brain like that too? Kuno's gonna go out in a hail of bullets. Gonna look like a fucking porcupine.
Talk to Manana about the armor.
So?
He raises his eyebrows, projecting aggressive indifference. He told me he promised to stick the pigs on him. He said thank you. Wasn't too keen on chasing down the armor anyway. Said you're now the king of the entire chamber. He told me to promise to stick the pigs on him.
Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno, what is this? Trying to be cool with your new asshole? Kuno was just being nice to you. You got fucked bad. After this shit, you better have something real interesting.
Yeah, real interesting.
Okay, let's try figuring out what's going on with this kid.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
Okay, failed, but hey, Kuno, think you can turn down the Kuno for a moment here? Let's talk about like normal people. Listen, Kuno, I know this boundary pushing thing is new to you, but it's old news for us grown-ups. Kuno, you must have seen all kinds of things throwing stones here. Want to help the RCM bust a murderer?
Fuck no! What are you? Fucking mentally handicapped?
Kuno, they've almost made you a snitch now.
Ease off, see? Kuno always takes the bullet over the hammer.
He nods, big boy style, incredibly proud of
He'd rather
himself.
die than work with the justice system.
Kuno doesn't...
Okay. That failed like I expected it to. I wanna be able to do this.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
But it's locked again. There's like a coat there in the box. I don't even know if that's how to get up on the roof, but I want to see if I can go in there, but I don't know. That looks like a door or something. I don't think there's even gives me like says anything about it being a locked door or something. Yeah, so that's a locked door or something? Can I, like, do something?
Yes?
We're not gonna talk about the boots. Yeah, there? I wanna get onto the roof. Maybe if I get up there I can crawl across.
Just an ordinary...
Yeah, I doubt it. Okay. So I'm at full health. The scab dude said that he would help me defeat Measurehead if I've at least tried it. You won't auto kill me, right? Let's go up and try to challenge Measurehead. This is probably a poor decision. That's what quick save is for.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Knock him out.
How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand, and he's squeezing it. It hurts.
You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. Say it. I am a degenerate alcoholic.
I'm a cop.
Your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up into your brain as he's twisting it more and more.
The words to the song have changed.
I'm a violent drunk.
Say, I good. Now leave before you humiliate your homo.
Okay.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where I may have to shoot random civilians, because that won't get us anywhere.
Oh, well, thank you for being nice enough to possibly shoot him.
I'm not even sure the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that Hulk.
But he's the one trying to provoke me.
And you're just going to let him manipulate you like that?
He raises an eyebrow. The problem is, I'm not really sure how to get back there. Like, It seems to be if either there's some way to maybe climb up back way, but that involves a white skill check that I can't get open, or fight him, which doesn't seem like it's gonna go well. Okay, I was trying to assert my dominance over him.
We are not here on some political quest. We are here to solve a crime. Don't make the situation any more volatile than it already is.
But I was fighting a bad and savory ideologies. I'm a hero.
We are not here on some political quest. We are here to solve a crime. Don't make the situation any more volatile than it already is.
Can't promise that. I might attack him again.
The lieutenant groans, but doesn't say anything.
To become a racist just in order to get past this. How did you defeat him?
Nice aggression.
Not bad advice, actually. This might do the trick.
Let's talk about our right to work.
Okay. So I have a tip for next time if I try fighting him again. I'll wait a little bit before fighting him again. Go back, investigate back here.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Pull the curtains open.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
A small, terrified O escapes from presence as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Friar's treacherous portrait of a man.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Knock on the door.
Only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed-out, dark echo.
Unlock the door with the key.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Okay, maybe you should go first.
Detective, you're the one in charge.
The lieutenant motions towards the door. Open the door and enter. Equipment. Hand is dripping from a punching bag.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It's an adventure. It's another world, but beyond the veil. It's like a gym to me. I think this may be Earth boxing club for young athletes.
I think you're right, though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages?
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Oh, wonder if that's a replacement bullet. Smells like leather and sweat. Oh. That's names. tall bars, they look unsafe. Are you gonna try to pick it up?
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates.
Uh-oh. He's totally gonna try picking it up.
It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of person would just remove the collars? It should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
The barbell waits patiently
Okay,
on
quick
the floor,
save
like a
and
dog
let's
for
look
its
at the
master. You managed to hoist it off the ground.
I need to stop destroying, using up my health things.
The barbell waits.
Okay. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Looks like the remnants of the 24-hour window repair shop. Large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, soft and melted. Ship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. Naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color.
Yes? Yes?
I'm not. Something behind you. Ooh, 3 real.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. But one of them is a welkin supremacist. This has been educational. Let's move on from the weapons. Who are these creatures?
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Why would anyone spend so much time on
Some
this?
people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
One of them is a welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Back the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
In the year 50 and we're in 51 now, so this was only last year.
It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
Keep reading. What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Leave.
Kingdom of Conscience. The Kingdom of Conscience will be exactly as it is now. Moralists don't really have beliefs. Sometimes they stumble on one, like on a child's toy left on the carpet. The toy must be put away immediately, and the child reprimanded. Centrism isn't change, not even incremental change. It is control over yourself and the world. Exercise it. Look up at the sky, at the dark shapes of the coalition airships hanging there. Ask yourself, is there something sinister in moralism? And then answer, no. God is in his heaven. Everything is normal on earth.
Moralist dialogue options heal +1 morale. Ooh, I need my morale. My health and morale are both constantly challenged. Learning cap for volition raised to 5. Learning cap for logic raised to 5. I'm kinda scared to become a racist. I would like not to become a racist. That would be nice. Ooh, I wanna try this one. This, like, my shoes might be.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120. Equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Do you think I should turn it on?
We had one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
Turn on the machine.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
The lieutenant notes, observing the machine. Press play.
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Press print.
Nothing happens.
Okay, so I need to find something to go in there. Nope. Let's all work together. Advanced RPG of the universe. Velvet touch muffin. That's where I was before. Raiders, it's wearing a Scream logo. Schedule. Okay. $1.50.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on, how do I know what Cajun mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So we're dealing with something medical here?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
Wait, who's the game master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Il Mara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My god. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
The lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. The cost of Airworth alone must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
He nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean against his jacket.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to exercise this curse using technology. Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. Just a failed business. The only question is... Well, obviously they were making this really cool game that was like... over the radio airwaves?
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
How are they planning on doing that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
And this was a role-playing game?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
The lieutenant tilts his head, thinking. They were insane if they thought they could do this. It was just a play to cheat money out of their investors' pockets. First got them. I see no other explanation. The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. Do we have any money? Let's give them some more money so they can finish it and make it even bigger. The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
Says, looking around the derelict room. Pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Insert the production schedule.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Press play again.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
You mean that glowing thing I put inside?
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
This is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
The voice in the machine asks again. She sounds cold in the damp air. Is it my birthday?
Still no.
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Wow, so conceptual. She hums. And what's that, this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
You hear her ask when the connection finally approves. What are you, a machine, or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian station.
Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios. Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
That's all for now. Press off /
Thank you, and goodbye.
The old lady's voice disappears along with the static.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering.
Okay, so we need to find a password. Ooh, $2 and some magnesium. It is.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door.
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim. It's a fridge.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door.
Let's take a look inside.
Look inside the refrigerator.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine one of the ice cream wrappers in there.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
The lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in the light. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice.
Says the lieutenant.
What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red, snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Close the door. Maybe we shouldn't plug it. Handwritten note from the fridge. A handwritten note you found from the giant ice bear fridge. Still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over his shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe.
Kuno?
You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
I wonder who wrote that note.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here.
Maybe they had to leave in a hurry.
That's a plausible hypothesis.
Remind me again, what's a filament memory?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid? Probably Kuno.
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Put the note away. Yeah. What is this? An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Flashlights cast a strange shadow. There was a hidden doorway here. Rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck busted guns beneath the ceiling.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we? Look around the secret room.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine a light on the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do. Look inside.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Inspect the light rifles.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This old Belle McGrave looks okay. Take the rifle. Similar to the murder weapon.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Isn't that the same gun that fired the fatal bullet?
It's the same type of weapon, yes. A breech loader. But it's not the same gun. This one's been out of order for years. I'm afraid our search for the real murder weapon must continue.
What does this mean? A rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
Yeah, I wonder if the firearm was found somewhere like this. Frozen ice cream maker that's still running.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Try to crack open the lid.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Equip the pry bar by going to the tools.
Okay. If I can unplug it, if it's close by ice, if I can unplug it, then hopefully it will melt.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Unplug the giant red cable.
An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
Unplug the black cable.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
Because I wanted to be able to get into the ice maker. This is black, the color of immeasurable cosmos.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Raw air is running into the beaker box. Ooh. Insane mesh tank top. Wait, did you even get that one? No, really, who put it in that drawer? No further comments, we're at your own risk. Ooh, money on the floor. It's all a window. His feet shuffling by on the street. Okay. Back and check anything else. Welcome collapses and it's accessible now.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Look inside the furnace.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs. The echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying, or what's producing them.
What are you doing?
I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Smear your hands with coal.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No, that would be stupid.
Those voices I heard. Maybe it's the malignant entity? Listen said it lives in a chimney.
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected. but malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man.
Kick it with your foot. Oops.
A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Yell hello into the furnace.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then...
Hello?
Hello, are you there? Speak to me.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Oh, cool. Okay, and I think we're gonna stop there today. I'm not sure how much stuff is left, but I want to investigate everything thoroughly and I don't want to rush, so probably gonna get off for tonight. Okay. I do have way more money for that 31 real. So happy about that. I only need 20 in order to have somewhere to sleep tonight, so ooh. Anyway, talk to you next time.